Hi, welcome to Foodie. Today we're going to make a kind of a take on French onion soup. I love French onion soup, and I have a recipe for that also. If you look it up, it's really good. We're going to make a French onion pasta, or in this case, I'm using rigatoni today, so we'll have a French onion rigatoni. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, I've got two medium-sized onions peeled. We're going to cut these into pretty thin slices. And we're going to cook these so well. They're just going to be so soft and tender, and they're going to probably shrink up a little bit. And I'm using yellow onions, by the way. I've got a stock pot here with 3 tablespoons of butter in it. So we're going to add these onions to this over here so you see better. You want to pop out all these rings. Almost like you're making onion rings. It'll end up doing this on its own as you cook them, but I just like to do it at the beginning. All right, I'm going to put this on a low on the stove top. Get that butter melted, and then in that meantime, I'll slice up this other onion. Okay, I've added the other onion. You can tell it looks like there's a lot of onions there, but it'll really cook down a lot, and there'll hardly be anything in the pan when it's finished. The butter's probably melted good, and we're just going to continually stir these, and this is the part you got to be pretty patient with. You know, we're going to let these things cook, 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. And, you'll know when they're done when they get to that real soft consistency like you see in French onion soup. And you also want these to, brown a little bit. And that way you get these little brown things on the bottom of the pan. And then when you pour in your liquids, you scrape up all those little bits, I guess I'll call them. And that really adds a lot of good flavor. I've been doing this for about 20 minutes. You can kind of see it's starting to brown a little bit, which is what we're looking for. Cooked down a lot. Onions are getting nice and soft. So now we're going to maybe help this caramelization. We're going to do that by adding about a half a tablespoon of brown sugar. I'm using light brown sugar, whatever you have on hand. So that's going to help this caramelization process. And we can add some salt and pepper now, just to your liking. I'm not going to add too much salt because we're going to end up putting in some beef broth to cook our pasta in here. This is all going to be done in one pot. And, the beef broth is fairly salty already. So let's add in our last couple of secret ingredients here. The big thing that really makes French onion soup really special. And you don't need much. I got an 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. And that just puts the flavor, over the top. I'm going to put in a half a teaspoon of ground thyme. We'll let this go for maybe 5 minutes, just to get those flavors mixed in there good. And you can see, that's really cooked down a lot, nice and brown. Okay, now we'll add our wines to it. I've got a 1/4 cup of white wine. And then we'll put in about a 1/8 of a cup of, I'm using cooking sherry. And these amounts, you can vary what you put in. We're going to cook this until all the alcohol is evaporated anyway. So it's just really going to pick up the flavors of the sherry and the white wine. We'll let this go for like 5 minutes so you see most of that liquid evaporated. All right, we're going to add our last few ingredients. Tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Eight ounces of your favorite pasta. Like I said, I'm using Rigatoni. This is a 16-ounce bag, so I'm going to add half of it. And then 3 cups of beef broth. I'm going to stir that in. Make sure that pasta is covered. And we're going to bring this up to a boil. Then we'll simmer it for about 15 minutes till the pasta is done. And I'm probably going to continue to stir this just to make sure all that pasta gets totally covered and cooked. Then we could add in our last 2 ingredients. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. That'll kind of help thicken this up. And a 1/4 cup of gruyere cheese, of course, since we're having French onion. That will also thicken it up. And I may add another 1/4 cup. So that means about a 1/2 cup total. And then we'll save the rest of this to sprinkle on top. I had I think 2/3 of a pound of grated cheese. What I did was when the 15 minutes cooking the pasta was finished, I went ahead and turned up my stove top to like a medium high, just to, again, make sure this pasta was cooked well, and I wanted to get rid of a lot of this liquid. So I think we're looking pretty good here. Now what I'm going to do, I think, is use like a slotted spoon or a strainer here, just again, so we don't get too much of the liquid. Yeah, most of the liquid's out, so I just wanted to, I don't want it too runny. Actually, I could have just used a spoon. There's pretty thick gravy is the only thing that's really in there. We want that. While it's still nice and hot, we're gonna put on a nice good layer more of this grated Gruyere cheese. Doesn't that look wonderful? All right, let's take a little taste of this. Wow, that is really good. You can really taste those onion crumblies once, a little bit, not quite burnt, the brown parts of the onion. And that wine really brings out good flavor. Wow, really heavy, hearty. It's not really a light dish. Good for winter time. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Ed Foodie right over there. Thank you for watching.